Well, this might be a PTSD-inducing matchup for Puppypaw. A flashback to the Red Bull Wololo Grand Finals opening game. A similar map as well, as French are in the hands of Puppypaw. And Louis MT, trying to mimic a Marine Lord here, has got the Delhi. Yeah, 1-0. Welcome back to A4 Action. Semi-finals here for the KP Midweek Muster #1. And Louis MT in a bloody good position here to try and secure himself the first slot in the Grand Finals. Last time we saw this particular matchup, Marine Lord was able to unravel the French in the hands of Puppypaw. While it is a different map, in some ways it's a better map for Delhi. Last time it was on Regions that we saw this, and on Regions you don't have as much Sacred Site volatility. Louis MT can easily claim these and play dynamic on the map. So I'm curious to see what Puppypaw's answer is going to be. A map like Gorge sometimes encourages 2TC. I just don't think you can do 2TC against Delhi. They're too all-inny. And we will be seeing Mass Ghazi coming from Louis, at least in the opening here. So this should be... Actually, I think you potentially open Spears to begin with here, just to play safe. But I've seen a lot of players recently just forgo the Spears and get Ghazi opening. That is a long insinuation of insinuations, Estrella. I think Vortex will like the Season 9 style because it seems like it is a nerf towards static defensive gameplay. And players that would align with a static defensive gameplay will feel a little bit of a harder hit. Kind of curious to see how it's going to impact Puppypaw and WAM in particular, because they do have reasonably long game averages, not crazy, but they are renowned for playing more for the mid game. But I think the changes we've seen with Season 9 are more maybe like a nerf to the defense of mid-game, right? Mangonel's not being as good at the beginning of Cast Stage, for example. Early game hasn't been impacted too much outside of walling, but like, I think that's a fine change. I don't think you should be able to walk onto a map and wall the entirety of the map pre-10 minutes. That's silly. That's always been silly. In fact, I think Gorge is going to be quite refreshing on Season 9. I was sick of Gorge in Season 8. Because genuinely, people had figured out the early game, and you just always got wall-ins and late game. I think with wall-ins being much harder, we're going to see more opportunities between 10 and 20 minutes to do something decisive. So Rax coming in. Looks like Louis is going to opt for the defensive opening here. So Puppypaw will get to strike first. You could, in theory, try to do something like a 2TC behind this, but the problem is the matchup. Delhi are just really good at forcing you into 1TC type plays. So to the whole point of like, I don't know, we're just literally meant to be focused on this game, but I'm going to address the Springwood thing there. The whole issue of like removing the counter units and justify it by saying our goal was to remove the counter units. So Springwoods were toxic. I don't think they were like good for long-term AoE4's like sustainability as a fun game. And what I would say is if you have something that is bad for a game, it's challenging to get the solution right in one strike. If you're trying to at least improve it, maybe there is value in essentially putting it in triage mode where it doesn't function that well while you adjust on the way, right? I think that's better than just creating a one-dimensional format. Sure, it's not ideal because, like, if you really love Springles, they now just don't do anything, right? But they're trying to get it there. Like, I think there's some interesting things they could do with the new Springwood format. Like, I love the idea of maybe something like a knockback effect, potentially, or some sort of deployable mode. But for now, I see Springles, I see Mangoes as they're kind of in triage, right? They're injured. They're not that functional of a unit. But the thing you have to keep in mind with AoE4 is AoE4 at its core functions on a core triangle of cavalry, infantry, archers. It still has that core triangle. So, with that core triangle in mind, Louis has got the correct answer to the Knights. We have got mass spears coming. He's not pivoting until he sees a reason to. This is smart. Your goal here is defend, defend, defend. Get all your tech upgrades for free. You do need to come out soon, though, because remember, over time, French are going to escalate an economy lead via their faster producing TCs. And yes, you will get Pro Scouts inherently. It's really cool as well because it lets him hunker down. Remember, he's got a lot of scholars, so survival techniques, Pro Scouts, these things are just naturally going to happen. But Pro Scouts just 10 seconds away. Love the fact he went double mill. It's efficient for gathering the berries, but it's also efficient for getting all of your eco techs, which he needs to offset the villager lead Puppy Paw now has. Spear massing. Still going to continue. So Louis is going to reach a point where he can come out to skew the sacred sites. And fair point around like the intermediate state of like the game. How's it going to stay this way? How long is it going to stay this way? I would say, although it's still not perfect, the route of changing the game has like the average time I feel like has improved in the last year. I still wish it was better. I still wish we had more hotfixing. But I would say that World's Edge have stepped up compared to where we were, say, a year ago on getting changes. And if you think about it, recent changes have been more drastic as well. So it's not just like we're waiting 4 months for a teensy tiny change. There are definitely things that need to be worked on. I actually think a bigger issue than Springles that needs to be worked on, by the way, guys, is matchmaking. Archer's now coming in. Ghazi already being prepped, though. So Louis is leaning the right way. Scary thing about Ghazi's spears is you can pinch knights. So Puppy Paw, if we continue this trend, it is getting a little bit worrisome for him. He also needs to go back for the blacksmith decks. Like, this is where Delhi do get a little bit of an edge. So there is a timing window here by 12 to 15 minutes, I think, is where Delhi will be stronger. If nothing happens up to 20, including no sacred sites taken, Puppy Paw's economy should just be better enough to justify the techs required because he will have additional villages. How many resources or free villages worth of free research does Delhi get per scholar? That is a dynamic formula. Because if you think about it, the more minutes that pass in the game, like, the less value you get from having had the extra eco compared to having extra villages, right? So it's not as simple as just saying, yeah, it's this raw number. But like, at this stage in the game, having this 10% increase, right, is equivocal to having 3 extra villages. That's a 10% increase that your opponent doesn't have. Add in the fact that you gather from berries even quicker than French, right? Start to see the problem here for Puppy Paw. Add in the fact that he can pull the deer back. Puppy Paw has to play onto the deer just to try and mirror. And that also leads to another layer of efficiency where Louis isn't moving to do his economy. He is, however, inefficient here. Glad he noticed that because, yeah, he's ran out of food. He should have deer coming home, you'd think, but no, not yet. So Puppy Paw is doing a good job of at least not losing units so far. The Ghazi have been revealed very early. Timing does look okay for Puppy Paw currently. The Steel Arrow is kind of intriguing. Is Louis thinking of going 1-1-1? I don't think so. But like, if he's not going 1-1-1, why would you ever go Steel Arrow over Bloomery? Sure, it makes your TC better, but the majority of your army could be buffed by +1. And that's especially substantial in spears, considering their base damage is so low. Sacred sites are going to be attempted to be capped here. Looks like he's going to have to shuffle away as the knights are coming in. Spearman, that's not a bad trade, actually. 2 spears to kill 1 knight is worth it. Almost kills a second. Scholar is going to get snipes. That'll balance out the trade a bit more. Eco lead is now up to 5. So Puppy Paw is starting to feel the advantage there. It hasn't turned into the eco text to really balance this out yet, which is why Louis is still in competition. But Louis' issue now is he needs to try and find this fight. Right? With mass infantry here, it gets more difficult. Whereas what you're seeing Puppy Paw is doing, he's leaving the archers at home and just running knights around. And when this gets cool, as we're seeing Louis move out to pocket ecos, Puppy Paw can split more and more and more, right? 3, 4, 5 knight groups. If he can actually micro all that confidently, he will start to get kills. Louis will slip up. Yeah, like here. This is a slip up. That's a Q bug. I don't know if he accidentally queued it wrong or if it just skipped on the queue when he built the first, but only 1 outpost up. Luckily, Spearmen were there to prevent a dive. We do also have Louis with textiles, so he's fully aware. Makes a lot of sense. Like, big tip to people, when you're playing against French, go for textiles. With Delhi, it's just 1 villager missed, and you are likely to lose 1 villager otherwise. So great read there. Looks like Puppy Paw has been trying to tank with the scouts. Spearmen are able to buffer him away, though, especially with the assistance of the outposts. Sacred Sites are now getting locked in, right? We've got 2 at any given time. That is trickling gold for Louis, which is balancing out this eco lead. So Louis is definitely ahead again. Nice. Whoa, boy. What? Okay, he's trying to min-max here, but if Louis pays any attention... Scouts are dead, however, and that's still a 70 resource for 80 resource exchange, so does slightly favor Puppy Paw. Did he get Chivalry? Yeah, Chivalry is in, so take a long time, but he will be able to kiss the boo-boos better. And this is at least culling the Spearman herd. Gradually. Which is really important to make the archers' lives much easier to mop up. Yeah, Louis needs to find a fight. He's actually getting peeled slowly but surely. It's not an immediate win for Puppy Paw, that's not the goal here. It's just chip damage over time to get a big win in the big fight with your premium unit. He's also doing a great job of denying the flank Sacred Sites. It's never about the central one because Louis is camping there, right? But as soon as you see him shuffle east, you go west. Every single time. I don't know, man. I think Puppy Paw has just kind of addressed the concerns I had from his game against Marine Lord. This is a much cleaner approach. You could argue Marine Lord was just maybe a little bit more on point in the way he addressed these raid concerns. Also, in fairness, Gorge is a different beast to Regions. Sure, there's less Sacred Sites, but the more important thing with Gorge versus Regions is Regions tends to funnel your eco in one direction, while Gorge makes you spread in two. And that's where you're seeing these little chinks in the armor, right? These weaknesses for Louis. These have double outpost to protect. I've got a blocker on the deer over here.
Now you're
and what is up, my boy Excessive Profanity? Thank you very much, my friend, for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, one and all, to our midweek tournament series. We've actually just announced 30 weeks of tournaments, all to be hosted on yours truly on this channel here. So Grand Finals is on Thursday. These are currently the semi-finals playing out. We have open scheduling format, and a lot of talented players have signed up already. Louis is kind of reaching that crack point, right, where he needs to go. But he doesn't really have the Sacred Site control, the goal behind it that's helped him. I think Louis is now going to be stuck in a blender, scaling to mass population. But then if you're in max population, right, like who has quality advantage? If you're both going for max population, and Puppy Paw is keeping track, by the way, he's better. Knights beat archers, spears. If you had Tower of Victory, it would at least be more balanced. But remember, Louis didn't go that way. So instead, he's going to take a different approach here. We've got to save up for Castle Age. Man, Puppy Paw, does he sniff it though? If he mirrors this play and goes for Royal Bloodlines with the Institute play, it could beat out the Delhi's plans. If he waits too long though, Louis will start building into elephants. Elephants that will not die to Archer Knights, remember. Like, these things are broken right now. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna... Like, we live in an age of elephants, you know? If I check the Chinese calendar, you know, I have like the Year of the Rooster or whatever. Is it Year of Elephant? It feels like it. How's the performance, by the way, guys? This season's definitely been a bigger hit on my PC. I'm glad we've got this upgrade trekking. I'm hoping we can finalize the GPU and motherboard partners. I need to try and find some contacts at certain brands. But if I can get that locked in, we are going to be aiming to build a new PC live on stream. Hopefully sometime in November or December. Yeah, Season 9 definitely hit people's PCs a bit. Diving for the Ghazi. Louis just trying to keep Puppy Paw honest and at home. They're both starting to stockpile, though, so they both seem fully cognizant and aware of what the next move is. Louis holding onto a lot of food. Does need to fix the gold. I think he's too reliant on Sacred Site control to get that trickle. You just need to shuffle out, gather a bit of gold here. This is a bit risky, but you could easily snatch here instead of the food. Instead, Puppy Paw is going to be the one to blink first for the play. Institute now on the way. Have a raid in here. Outposts aren't garrisoned on the right. The food's already gone. He's going to try to shuffle into the tree line. Actually, surprisingly enough, Puppy Paw doesn't go for the tree attack. Maybe he saw the walls already, but it's worth a gamble to try and get a little snipe in there. I think from Puppy Paw's POV, he can't afford to be behind on military because he's already falling further and further behind with his tech play. Check this. 65 military to 100 right now. Louis, he sees the economy. He heads for it. Army zerging forward here. Puppy Paw up to 45 archers. Ghazi count at 21. Is this enough horsemen to deal with this? He's forcing the fight on one side. He's kind of just denting it to one location with the knights, but the Ghazi are rippling around on both sides now. Flood through is about to commence. Louis, he has to go now. Now that he confirms the tech up, it's his only option. Puppy Paw trying to retreat away from this, but the Ghazi count is still healthy. Archers are reaching in as well. The veterancy hasn't even been queued up because Puppy Paw has no gold gathering. That was a blocker to the play. All gold gathering is on the west side. He's a man in castle age without a castle to call home here. No veterancies. This is still a feudal battle where he is 2-1, soon to be 3-1 here. Louis, is he going to do it in the 4th game? He's on the verge of it. Ghazi continue to march forward. Archer mass has been depleted down to barely double digit anymore. Meanwhile, Louis with 40 spears here. Looks to close it out in 4. Puppy Paw barely holding on. He's not even moving the villagers that built the landmark up right now. Just stuck on the spot. With nowhere to run and hide. Rush onto the gold. Sacred Site's locked in behind this. Louis was contemplating that castle before, but now he has a win condition here. Why wait for what you can claim now? Spears are going to shuffle back over. The problem that I'm seeing is Puppy Paw moving the knights here is the worst possible thing you can do. You need to draw attention away from your goal to get access to the 3rd age. Instead, the Ghazi reveal it, and the Spearmen are on their way. Spearmen, Archers looking to actually cut off the retreat. Spears are going to chase after the knights, surprisingly enough. Villagers are just going to run into it. The Archers wait and receive. Puppy Paw will quickly recover it, but not before experiencing losses. The Spearmen come back again. There's no getting away from this. He needs the counterattack now. Yeah, Puppy Paw is pretty much in a, if you burn my house down, I burn yours. Mutually assured destruction is his only way back into this game. His only advantage is the fact that knights can kill villagers a lot quicker than the Delhi army. But is it going to be quick enough? Dive comes in, he goes for the TC. He's got so many spears here. Villagers try to get in, but they get blocked. Archer's still being targeted down. Louis empty. Has he done it? Is this just the kryptonite? Is this just the curse that Puppy Paw cannot overcome? The Delhi-French matchup, dooming him again. Sacred Sites have at least been decapped, so the ticking time bomb isn't there. But what is there is an overwhelming eco lead now for Louis. 24 villages up. This is crazy. And keep in mind, if Louis now backs up and techs up, he's not weak, right? Remember, he has elephants. Delhi have changed. They are a much scarier beast than they were prior to these elephant buffs. Before, it was all about feudal and how they GG you there. Now, they can still play an age later and be just as domineering. Nice. I'm going to look to just step in and clean up what they can here. The health bars aren't getting pretty. Meanwhile, the gold is looking rather ugly. Remember, there's no gold on the east side. This isn't Puppy Paw being a noob. It's simply he has to play west side Gorge. This is the rough element of Gorge, is sometimes you do just get this full dedicated spawn of food one side, gold the other. And it can screw you. Definitely feels like it screwed him in this one. Oh, speed count has been reduced pretty heavily. And if everyone's wondering, why doesn't Puppy Paw just call GG? Oh my god, I've got a day to get on with. Remember, guys, this is single elimination. He's got nothing else to play for, right? Win this series or fail to make finals. Right now, he might be on a recovery arc. Knights are going to shuffle in. When you're vetted up, you do hit pretty damn hard here. Actually, with the damage buff of Candled Saddles, you'd be able to two-hit villagers. He doesn't have that yet, though. But he does have numbers on his side, at least temporarily. Needs to hit the villagers, but that goes both ways as Louis once again finding eco kills in the French base. Army count has thinned heavily here. This was like, what, 60, 70 military versus 20 before? So Puppy Paw is doing a good job of min-maxing the few units he has left because he can't afford to replace Knights Lost. This would take a miracle. Although this is not shown, Puppy Paw is trying to do the work of a saint. Hold back the elephant tide before they even come. Military numbers are truly deceptive now, guys. Louis, 12 of this is not attacking. It's scholars. Louis doesn't have an iron grip on this game like he once did. And the Knights are still everywhere in a game where you start to set up farms, which means you're spreading out more. Wolves aren't up either because Louis learned the hard way earlier in this series that Wolves in Season 9 do not come easily. Might be able to extract a few more kills here. Maybe? He's not risking it. He's so scared of losing just one Knight here. This might actually be the comeback of the tournament if he pulls it off. Louis barely has an army anymore. 19 spears. By the way, big oversight from Louis. He never got veterancy. He never got veterancy. He never got relics. Louis is panicking. It may not be obvious straight away, but when you consider these details, he hasn't queued up blacksmith. Sorry, I'm an idiot. He's in feudal. I'm being an idiot. Ignore me. Why did my brain is like, he's going to go castle. I don't think he can actually get castle now, though, right? I'm having one of those moments, guys. I need to get some more caffeine in me. And we do have vet archers now from Puppypool. I think you have to just go gold here. But there's so much idle time on his food. Louis, he may be able to get gold, but then he won't have the food, right? Like, it's kind of choose your poison here. Farms now coming. I can't believe this is actually happening. And remember, over time, guys, he will get back into this because of the TC. It's producing every 17 seconds, so he is gradually clawing back the eco losses. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, 41 worker kills to 15, right? This should be over. Puppypool refuses to die. Knights are, however, starting to get found. We have got walls coming up, so Louis is beginning to hunker down. Louis can't take the pocket food, that's why. There's not much deer left here, right? Because he pro-scouts a bunch of it in. But, like, what pocket food are you talking about? You're Delhi, you can't take a boar, right? You have to go farms. Puppypool now arriving the archers. I mean, this is the counter to everything. He cannot fight veteran archers. The Knights have bought the time, and now vet archers alone can win this game. Louis is in trouble. Puppypool, he's going to drag it all the way to a 5th game. You can smell it, you can sense it, you can feel it in this one. Ghazi not scary enough on the raid on the flank. Villagers will not be denied. Ghazi are starting to arrive for Louis. He has got the farms functional again. So in theory, there's still a way to recover this, but he needs to start shrinking the archer blob before it gets too big. Spears just mosh-pitting it. Wait, did he maybe jump ahead of time? This is an interesting kind of dynamic between archers. Like, in theory, yes, vet archers should win, but when you have a blob of standard feudal archers, they can still win out. Especially when it's a mosh pit of spears as well. He's shoving him back. Oh my god. Puppypool has got food again, but it's limited food. The berries are almost out. The deer is very far on the flank, as known. He doesn't have many farms at home, only about 12 in total. Make that 15. Fight in the center. The Knights are going to commit. He is min-maxing those health bars. Looks like Louis is going to have to back up, though. He got some space, but I don't think he can keep pushing this. I think he's scared to retreat, because the moment you retreat, it's going to be Knights diving on both sides again. We do have gold gathering underway, so Louis is trying to make a play here. He wants that castle. He needs that castle. Just 2 war elephants changes this entire game. Gets 1 gold drop off, but that's not a lot. Could he just stockpile food here? That's what I'm wondering. Like, stockpile food and you trade across could work as well. Farm count is really good. Louis now up to 38. And Louis has to be feeling it, right? The longer he waits, the worse this gets because Puppypool, the gap is closing, right? 54 to 67. This was over a 20 eco lead a few minutes ago. It's the French threat. Given enough time, right? So hard to defend against vet archers as well with just a few Ghazi. I mean, you know, you have great bonus damage exchange, right? But the fact is it's a 9 damage unit, and you have a pitiful 3 ranged armor. So you're only mitigating a third of the damage. And this is meant to be the counter unit. And the problem is, to build more of these Ghazi, to build enough Ghazi to defend against archers, you're actively keeping yourself away from Castle Age. Ghazi are going to go for a flank raid again, though. Nice little bit of chip damage hunt here. 2 villagers are going to be sniped down. Might actually get 4 in total. He targets the low ones. Clubs another. He gets it. Sick micro. Louis heads in with 3 Ghazi, gets 4 villager kills. Every single one matters here. To delay the massive quality from Puppy Paw. Also the archers. Man, he's just gunning for the veterans. Overextension though. Knights do surround them. Complete out of position. The spears are on the way though. We'll be able to shove this away. This trade is favoring him. Louis able to scare away the archers. However, Knights now can dive in the economy. If Puppy Paw really wants to commit this, he can send the Knights to all the different little partitioned areas of farms. Instead, he's going to blob. The problem with blobbing here is, yeah, Louis can react like this. Just shuffle out in one direction and escape. And there's no charge coming, so Puppy Paw are actually not going to be able to do anything here. Villagers will safely get away. Meanwhile, just keeping that blob down for Puppy Paw. He's getting back up to mass spears again. No way. How? I just want you guys to really process what the state of this game was 10 minutes ago. And then ask, how is it still going on? Villagers get found. Wall up, not successful that time. Not the way he wanted it. Louis, wait. Just blend in with the walls, boys. Blend in with the walls. What? I can't believe that. Puppy Paw could have easily killed, what, 4 more villagers before running away. Didn't want to lose any of the knights. So Louis maintaining a 20 eco lead. Spears now arriving on the deer and the gold. Doesn't care about the outpost, right? No arrow slits here. Hasn't at least got the +2 upgrade, so it's going to sting. But with this many spears, she'd be worth it for the eco kills. Villagers aren't even repairing, so Louis should be able to scalp a few heads. Yeah, injured villagers in the area, right? He's actually got more here. It looks like he's getting distracted in the center. Puppy Paw will reform and shuffle away. This was actually an expensive dive for Louis. Didn't get as many eco kills as he was hoping for. However, the shiv's out. Maybe a little bit of an oversight there by Puppy Paw. Does lead to additional villager kills. However, does give him an opening in the center. Spear count is now down to 23. Louis, did he just make a bit of a blunder here? The eco is still good, right? He's got triple the food income. So in theory, he can afford to throw away troops like that. The eco lead has now built back up to 24. And Knights are getting a little bit haphazard on their placement. I don't think Puppy Paw realized that. So number 1 goes down. Do we have any techs? No. That's actually crazy because, guys, Cantored Saddles would be worth its weight in gold for killing villagers here. Just means those initial lance charges can actually extract kills quite easily. And once again, he's just blobbing into archers. Military is close to neck and neck now, though. Especially when you minus the scholars, right? It's only a 6 unit difference. And yes, Delhi Horsemen are good against men-at-arms because they get bonus damage versus heavy. So they offset half your melee armor. He's going to be dive underneath the TC. That has split up the fight, though. It's kind of tricky to mobilize these knights around all these houses. Ghazi are going to get body blocked, trying to enter. Louis, he needs to shrink that count again, because once the archer count goes down, the spearman can win. This is key. Scholar's even involved in this, just to give that little bit of extra healing. Louis will continue to snipe. Second wave of archers now arriving from Puppy Paw. He's not done yet. The Knights, Finn the Herd, spearman count about as low as it's ever been in this game, and I think Louis may have simply too many archers and not enough front line. This is it. This is what Age of Empires 4 games can deliver. The comeback in the tournament. Puppy Paw, he wants that game 5. He can taste it. Salesman of the year here as he looks to close. Louis MT on the ropes. No standing army to hold this back. An admirable attempt to try and cinch it after it slipped away from him, but there's no denying it now. Poppy Paw, 12 knights in the field, 16 archers. Louis MT has nothing to protect this vulnerable economy. Unbelievable game. We had concerns, right? We wrote this off. We thought it was done. The moment that castle play came out, Louis MT looked firmly in the driving seat. Maybe a little bit too ambitious to end in H2. And now stuck there eternally. GG called. We are getting a Game 5.